Hey, my name's Yusuf. I'm one of the coaches at Propane Fitness, and I just want to thank you for filling in the calculator today. One of the most common questions that we get is this: my calories are too high. And maybe you're looking at your calorie numbers yourself and thinking, this doesn't look quite right. Well, here are 3 steps for you to get to the bottom of whether these calories are right for you and what you can do about it. So number 1 is to ask yourself, have you been eating the same amount of accurately tracked calories, so within 5%, for at least 2 weeks? And have you seen no change in your average weight? So that's question 1, and most people fall at this hurdle. So if you haven't done this, then I suggest that you follow these calories to start with, and then we see what happens. Step 2, start with the calculator output. So follow it accurately for 2 weeks, tracking your daily morning body weight after going to the toilet, before breakfast, naked at the same time every day, and then you'll be able to see for yourself whether these calories are right for you or whether they indeed are too high. Step 3 is, if your calories feel like they should be too high when you look at them on paper, but you're still losing weight, what an excellent problem to have. That means that you are living the dream. You're eating more calories than you feel like you should, and yet you're still losing weight. So it's the perfect combination. A lot of people feel like they have to punish themselves, or that there's a sense of pride that they get from eating just ridiculously low calories and really starving themselves. It's not necessary, and the fact is, if the data suggests that you are going in the right direction, go with that. Now, there are many calculators online, and a really common pattern that we see is people jumping from source to source, trying to ask the same question until they get an answer that they agree with, or until they get an answer that they like. And it's human nature to look to try and confirm what we already know. But the fact is, if you go by the data, you're going to get the most accurate approach, and you're going to be able to eat more food, which is what we all want. No online calculator is ever going to give you the perfect calories. The fact is, we are all individual human bodies, we have natural variation, and this calculator, just like any other, is based on the data that we've had over working with 2,000 clients in the past. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be exactly on point for you. This is a starting point, and it means that you still then have to start going forward and making adjustments as needed. So ultimately, it doesn't matter whether the initial calculator output is correct or not. If you were eating a calorie target that was effortlessly taking you to your goals, then you wouldn't have filled in this calculator in the first place. So there clearly is a disconnect here. Now, the important thing to bear in mind is, if you have accurately tracked your data for 2 weeks and you've been losing weight, why did you fill in the calculator? Why couldn't you keep it up? Perhaps it was because the calories were too low and you felt too hungry, you fell off the bandwagon. Very common pattern. If you haven't got evidence of tracking in the past, then you don't know that your calories are too high, and I suggest that you just give it a go. Regardless of how theoretically accurate the numbers are, we still have to follow the same approach. That is, number 1, make a sensible estimate of where your calories should be, test that estimate over 1 or 2 weeks, and then adjust those targets based on feedback. From experience, 99% of the people that ask this question, saying calories are too high, do the following. Number 1, they set their target calories at this idealistically super low starvation level to begin with. Once they do that, they stick to it religiously from Monday to Friday. Saturday comes around, they maybe have a beer, 1 beer turns into 2 or 3, they end up going on an absolute bender over that weekend, but it's okay because diet resumes on Monday. What they've done over that weekend is they've tripled their intake and they've completely thrown out any possible calorie deficit that they've created from Monday to Friday. Then, over time, their calorie intake on average is above maintenance and they gain weight. Then they think, well, I'm eating these low calories because the weekend doesn't count, right? And so they fail to lose weight in the long term, thinking that they need to starve themselves, and they're back at square one. They fail to make any progress. So hopefully that answers your question. Try these calories for 2 weeks and you'll be able to see for yourself whether they work for you.